All right, shalom. This is Kanaksa Anban Yasharala from the GMS Lions Den Camp. First and foremost, I want to say Kal Halal, La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule very well, and salutations to the sincere Akim that are out here pushing this truth and the sincerity and truth in the name of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Okay? You got a lot of people celebrating this wicked celebration of so-called New Year's, but it is not a New Year for the children of Israel. Okay, our New Year is supposed to be in the month Abib, which was changed to Nisan during the Babylonian captivity. I'm not too familiar with that, but I know the first month of the year is Abib. Okay, during the time of spring. Okay, that's the beginning of things, and it makes more sense. You can tell how upside down this whole kingdom of Esau is by celebrating the end as the beginning. Okay, and like because during the wintertime things die out, they start to die, and during the fall, autumn, and then they completely die out like vegetation and everything like that during the winter time. Okay, but it all goes back to these pagan uh uh idol gods that were created by Esau. Like look at this. It looks like the sculpture of Alexander the Great, like the creep or whatever you want to call him, right here on this little coin looking thing, man. But it's all the worship of Janus, the god of beginnings, man. And they are not real gods. Okay, so I just want to touch on it a little bit. I won't make it too long, but hopefully it's edifying and helpful to the hopeful elect. Whoever said out there that that might not have known this information or whatever. Okay, so with that being said, I want to go ahead and get started. And first, I want to go to um, I got the word of a bib um, on Wikipedia. It says the etymology from the Hebrew a bahab. I don't know how to say it. That's Yiddish though, but it says literally an ear of corn. The month was so called from barley being at that time an ear. Okay, it says the first month of the Jewish ecclesiastical year, corresponding nearly to the Gregorian April. So, according to this Gregorian calendar that we use, this Roman calendar that we use, the first month of the year would be in April. Okay, all right. So, with that being said, this whole thing is all off. Okay, so I looked up April. Didn't get a whole bunch of information on that. I didn't really dig too deep, but I got a couple scriptures that's really explaining when our first of the month is supposed to be. Our first month of the year is supposed to be around the Passover. Okay, in the month of Bib. Okay, so it says from April. It says fourth month 1300s. Okay, from Old French Avril, from Latin Aprilis, second month of the ancient Roman calendar, from a stem of uncertain origin and meaning, with month name suffix lis, the old names of July and August. Okay. So this is basically what April was, the second month of the ancient Roman calendar around the springtime. So um, it just really makes no sense for us to be celebrating a new year. First of all, it's not one of the Lord's holy days, okay? And second of all, it's just wicked. It's after this ancient deity called Janus, okay? All right, so Janus is an ancient Roman religion. In ancient Roman religion, a myth. Janus is the god of beginnings, gates, tran, transitions, times, duality, doorways, passage, endings. Okay, he is usually depicted as having two faces. Since he looks to the future and to the past, it is continually thought the month of January is named for Janus. But according to ancient Roman farmers' almanac, Juno was the tutelary deity of the month. So it's just they got all kind of different deities dealing with this month, all right, of January, and dealing with this whole New Year thing. Okay. So really, and then really during ancient it's also an ancient Orthodox beliefs that this was the it was called today was called the Feast of Circumcisions. It goes all back to worshiping the fertility god. Okay, you have this matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. All right, so the Feast of Circumcision is another celebration, wicked celebration that's partake by the Christians and ancient Jewish, not Israelite, not Hebrew Israelite, not the real Jews, but Jewish customs. Okay, it says the Feast of Circumcision of Christ is a Christian celebration of the circumcision of Jesus in accordance with Jewish tradition. 8 days, according to Semitic and Southern European calculations of intervals of days after his birth, the occasion on which the child was formally given his name. All right, the circumcision took place not in the temple, though painters sometimes so represented, but in the home. The circumcision of Jesus was traditionally been seen as example in the popular 14th century work of the Golden Legend. All right, at the first time of the blood of Yahweh of Christ, I'm gonna read it verbatim. Okay, was shed, and thus the beginning of processes of the redemption of man, and the demonstration of that Christ was fully human, and of his obedience to the biblical law. The feast day appears on the 1st of January in the liturgical liturgical calendar of the Eastern Orthodox Church. Okay, yeah, I had it. Orthodox, meaning it's saying Orthodox means right, but it's not right. It's wrong as shit. All right, in the general Roman calendar, the January 1st feast, which from 1568 to 1960 was called the Circumcision of the Lord, the Octave of the Nativity, and is now named the Solemnity of Mary, Mother of God. And boy, he's so wicked. Mother of God. Come on, man. All right, it says, and the octave day of the Nativity of the Lord It's celebrated by some churches in the Anglican Communion. All right, and virtually all Lutheran churches. In these later Western Christian denominations, the feast of the naming of the circumcision of Jesus Christ marks the 8th day, octave day of the Christmastitude. All right, so now not only it's dealing with like, and that feast of circumcision goes all the way back to the worship of Nimrod and Tammuz, because you have during the time of Easter worshiping Ishtar or Semiramis, you had celebrations in the temples, and in the temples they used to put harlots in the temples, right? And the men would go in to have sex with them as a repetition of sacrifice to the fertility god. And then, so what you have, okay, you have 7 to 8 months later, all these kids being born on the month of December around the 25th. All right, hold on a second. So you had a whole lot of kids being born around this time, and it was just a ritual. And a lot of those children were sacrificed. Okay. And that's where the whole Feast of Circumcision comes from. It comes all the way back from Babylonian worship, man. Okay, so we're not supposed to be partaking in none of this shit, to be honest. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of different deities that matches up. Okay, And another thing, you have a Southern heritage with black folks is that you have to hurry up and clean your house before the new year hits, and you got to cook a feast. All right, and with that feast, it consists of black-eyed peas, fried chicken, and greens. I forgot what the black-eyed peas and chicken represents, but the collard greens are supposed to represent money. And I grew up to that tradition for years before I came into the truth. But like us as individuals, like we always try to create, Jake always try to create their own holy days. All right, but the Lord ain't partaking in these, man. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get a couple scriptures to go along with it. All right, this is Amos. All right, Amos chapter 5, verse 21. It says, I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Okay, so like I said, like that's another solemn assembly. All right, that Jake that created by themselves. Okay, all right. It says, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows. Okay, and that's another form of so-called doctrine. And it's another song, but that was not created by Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, there's 8 holy days in the Bible. Okay, and these holy days are in the book of the Leviticus chapter 23 when it describes the feast of the Lord. Okay. Matter of fact, okay, it says this is Leviticus 23 and 5. It says, in the 14th day of the first month is the Lord's Passover. Okay, the first month. So let's go into what the first month. Okay, the first month is the month of Bib. That's the beginning of months for us, okay, during the Passover, okay? This is Exodus chapter 12, verse 1. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you but the beginning of months. It shall be the first of the year to you. So the only way we're supposed to celebrate the first of the year is the Passover. And we're not celebrating the first of the year, we're just celebrating the Passover. All right, it's a solemn assembly for the children of Israel, okay? It says, speak you unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. Okay, so it's explaining the Passover. Okay, so this should be the first month and in the first of the year unto the children of Israel. Okay, all right, this is let me see. This is Exodus 34 and 14. It says, no, start at 12. It said, take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, whether thou goest, lest it be a snare in the midst of thee. So this whole out there partying and bringing in so-called New Year is a snare unto the children of Israel, because we're not supposed to be partaking and dancing in the streets like that. Okay. It says, but ye shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves. For thou shalt worship no other gods, for the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is a jealous God. Okay, and it says, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods. Okay, and that's what our people are doing, going a whoring after these other gods. And we got all these prophecies and stuff going on. Like I said, like, you know, this so-called 2018 is going to be the year of prophecy. Okay. All right. The apostle, Tahar put it out there. Okay. But our people are not occupied in prophecy. They're occupied in foolishness. Okay. This is Luke chapter 17, verse 26. It says, and as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it also be in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise also in the days of Lot. Okay, because we're building a spiritual ark right now. All right, through the scriptures of, you know what I'm saying, through the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. This new ark, the ark that Noah built was to keep his family from the first death. All right, the new ark, which we're building, is a spiritual ark, but we're gonna be what's gonna keep us away from the second death is the chariots. Okay, all right. It says, likewise also in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. Okay, so with that being said, that's what we need to be looking forward to. Okay, all right. Go back to Exodus chapter 34, and it says. 34 and 15, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their gods, and one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice. Okay, so and that's what our people are out there doing, like partying with the devil. Okay, it says, and thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go a whoring after their gods. Thou shalt make thee no molten god. The feast of unleavened bread shalt thou keep. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, as I commanded thee in the time of the month Abib. For in the month Abib thou camest out from Egypt. Okay, so the feast of unleavened bread is the start of the Passover. So going back to Exodus 12, and this shall be the first of the month for us. Okay, not no damn January. Okay, all right. So reading it one more time. This is Exodus 12:1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying that this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month thou shalt take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls of every man, according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Okay, so basically this is talking about the whole Passover. Okay, because the Lord was talking about how he's going to pass through the land and destroy all the firstborn of the Egyptians, the cattle, their children, everything. All right. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit, man. And this is the so-called 2018 so-called. All right. But this is the time for prophecies. All right. All right. So with that being said, I want to say, Kal Halal La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Racha Kodash Ma'amath. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing this truth and sincerity and truth, cutting down the images and groves that this devil set up, the so-called white man, which is Esau. DTA. Shalom.